Well, hello there. Good morning. It is 7 a.m. Thursday, December 4th, 2025. Welcome to ONNJ Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato. We'll take your calls at 888-658-0234. Clouds this morning, partly sunny later. It'll be windy, chilly, wintry. Highs in the upper 30s. Meteorologist Mike Favetta will come along in just a sec with the detailed garden safe forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
I heard that exhale. It's
Oh,
time
you
to do
did?
another day. Yes, I did. I heard that Mike Favetta. Oh God, it's really cold. Yes,
It's
here is
another
meteorologist
cold
Michael Favetta.
morning. It is.
Yes,
It
it is.
is. It kind of, sends a chill down your spine, especially when you get in a cold car, right? Don't have the remote start and got to freeze for the first 5 minutes. Yeah, that'll be the case again this morning, especially with temperatures right now that are around the freezing mark, but it gets even colder for this time tomorrow. It's kind of like a little appetizer before the main course heading into your Friday. 24 degrees. That's the wind chill right now on the green in Morristown as well over in Newark. 26 in Long Branch and 20 with a pretty gusty wind down the shore. So yeah, certainly cold in place. Anywhere from 5 to 8 degrees cooler than this time yesterday. And the clear sky making for a very pretty sunrise right now, allowing for all of that sunshine to, well, try to warm us up, but not really going to do it today. Another round of reinforcing cold air comes in late tonight, sends our actual air temperatures down to 7 by 7 a.m. tomorrow in Sussex, 11 in Morristown, 21 in Mount Holly. You think you can escape the cold down in Atlantic City? Oh no, 29 degrees, your actual air temperature for you. There's also a little bit of light snow forecast south of the Atlantic City Expressway, starting around noon tomorrow, going until about 1 or 2 o'clock. It's that portion of the system that's trying to work its way up the coast, but the air is simply too cold and dense for that moisture to make it much further north than the AC Expressway. So for the coastal neighborhoods south of Atlantic City, you could see a light round of snow and rain tomorrow afternoon, briefly for a couple of hours, then it's back to cloudy for the rest of the evening. Saturday, mostly cloudy, maybe a break of sun, but it's cold still. That chilly weather lasts right through the upcoming weekend and even going into Sunday. So the next few days featuring the chill with highs struggling just to make it to freezing tomorrow. Back in the low 40s on Saturday and Sunday. Overnight lows chilly down in the 20s, Ken.
All right, Mike. Thank you so much. I'm just having a conversation with Pam about the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree. I, if I hear one more person call it a holiday tree or just a tree,
Uh-oh.
I'm going to go. By the way,
Well,
we
they
have in just
changed
a
the
minute.
time. It was 10 o'clock last night. Usually they light it at 9.
Yes.
I couldn't stay up. It was so late.
I couldn't either. I thought, in fact, when I saw it, and excuse me for looking down, when I saw it in my script, I'm like writing because
Mm.
I was still writing last night. I said that's got to be a typo. I'm
Yeah.
58 years old. I've been covering this since
Always
I'm
9 o'clock.
two. It's always
Yeah.
early. I remember when Al
Uh-huh.
Roker used to do it at like 6 o'clock. Remember that at like, but they tried different times. But I guess this way they want the people to pack the arena, if you will, Rockefeller
Yeah.
Center. And boy, did it pack! It was packed.
Yeah.
So good for them. All right, we're going to see it. And by the way, we're also going to see the first Rockefeller Center tree.
Oh,
And
exciting.
it sort of reminds you of Peanuts. I'll give you a little hint. So check this out. And it's in black and white for those that have never seen black and white. It's not a problem with your TV. All right. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you very much as always. And by the way, in terms of traffic, there is some already at this early hour. We have a crash on 295 northbound exit 27 by 676 in Belmore. This is near where it was yesterday. One left lane is closed there. There must be some ice or something in that area. A malfunctioning traffic light 202 both directions at Branchburg Township River Road. Left lane is closed there. We have a crash and vehicle fire right now on the Garden State Parkway Express lane southbound north of exit 114, which is Red Hill Road in Holmdel. The right lane is blocked, and a disabled tractor trailer on the Turnpike Eastern Spur southbound south of interchange 15W, which is 280 in Kearney, with the right lane blocked. Back up a little bit further north, we have debris on I-78 local lanes eastbound at exit 56 Elizabeth Avenue, Newark. Two right lanes are closed. Let's see the Hudson River approaches right now. Lincoln, they're talking volume 35 to 40. And we have issues now, let's see, on the Holland Tunnel or in the Holland Tunnel, it's 25 to 30. GWB upper and lower levels right now, very heavy, as you can see. In fact, we're even, what I'm seeing is there's even heavy traffic on Route 4 eastbound, just east of Jones Road in Englewood, going to the Jersey 8095, I should say, going to the GWB. So it is what it is. The closer we get to Christmas and Hanukkah, the more the traffic will build into Manhattan. It is 7:05 right now. Another Hudson County city has a new mayor after a runoff election this week. Hoboken. I always liked the city because I thought it was Hoboken. Yeah, my name is Ken. At-large councilwoman Emily Jabor beat Councilman Michael Russo. Congratulations to you. Neither candidate scored the required 50% to win without a runoff last month. Jabor released a social media statement saying, quote, "I'm incredibly humbled and honored by the trust that the people of Hoboken have placed in me." It is 7:06 right now, and a horrible attack in Howell leaves a woman injured and a community on edge. Police in Howell say 18-year-old Jaden Thompson of Freehold attacked a woman as she was pushing her 2-year-old child in a stroller back November 17th. The teen is being held at the Ocean County Jail on separate charges from this, but is being charged with endangering the welfare of a child and simple assault in this case. You got to check this out. Liberty House in Jersey City kicked off the holiday season last week with a heartwarming celebration bringing together students, teachers, and the community. More than 350 local students filled the venue to deck the halls for the 20th annual Snowflake Awards, a tradition that shines a spotlight on arts and programs in area schools. And now to spruce things up, our Lisa Marie Falvo has the story.
Liberty House in Jersey City opened its doors for a joyful holiday gathering, bringing together students, teachers, and the community to celebrate the spirit of the season. It's a holiday tradition 2 decades strong. At Liberty House, more than 350 Jersey City students arrived ready to deck the halls and its trees for the 20th Annual Snowflake Awards, which celebrates and supports art programs in local schools.
Snowflake Awards is something, yes, like we're doing it now for 20 years. We feel it's a way to really kick off the holiday season and to do it in a way that really embraces the community.
With over a dozen of themed trees lining Liberty House, students from across the state showed off their imagination. From classic Christmas looks to pop culture favorites and heartfelt tributes. This year, a panel of celebrity judges, including Art House Executive Director Meredith Burns, The Voice and American Idol contestant Haley Mia, and yours truly, had the tough job of choosing the winners. A lot of sparkle and jazz and pizzazz. A lot of the messages on all of these trees deal with kindness and empathy, and what great lessons to teach our kids. This tree has a very specific purpose. This tree honors the strong and brave women in our PS6 school and community who have fought or are fighting breast cancer. And beyond the trees, students lit up the room with holiday performances, including ballroom dancing and a special performance by Haley Mia.
They get to dance, have fun, meet other kids from other schools. It's an annual tradition here at Liberty House, and it's really, really special to be part of.
At the end of the morning, 3 schools earned this year's top honors, recognized not just for creativity, but for teamwork and school pride. All of the trees will be displayed at Maddie Rose Restaurant throughout the holiday season.
I think they're going to be really proud of everybody, and it's really going to be nice, heartwarming. Right before the holidays, I think they'll be really proud.
It's not really about winning, but it's more so for them to embrace the experience.
And of course, no holiday celebration is complete without a visit from Santa, who made the trip from the North Pole to congratulate the students and help kick off the season. For By Landmark, this isn't just a tradition. It's a commitment to uplifting the communities they serve.
Merry Christmas!
From Liberty House in Jersey City, happy holidays. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo for ONNJ Jersey.
Yeah, great story. That was fun. It is now 7:09. A homeless man with 16 prior serious arrests attacked an NYU student while she was walking to class Monday. 20-year-old student Amelia Lewis demanded something be done to prevent the repeat offender from targeting others. Surveillance video shows Lewis walking to class on Broadway in Greenwich Village when a man runs up behind her near Waverly Street. He appears to slap her on the backside, then shoves her to the ground, knocking off her headphones. Police arrested 45-year-old James Rizzo in the attack and charged him with persistent sexual abuse, forcible touching, and assault. The New York State Department of Corrections says Rizzo was out on parole, get this, after serving time for sex abuse. The question is, why is he out? After 16 prior serious arrests, why was this guy walking the streets? Such is the case in a left-wing New York City. It's only going to get worse under a socialist Zohran Mamdani administration. Do you love the name Prada? Well, Prada has announced on Tuesday that it has taken over fellow Italian luxury brand Versace for 1.3 billion euros. That's about $1.6 billion. Lorenzo Bertelli, son of Prada owners Muccia Prada and Patricio Bertelli, announced that he would take over as executive VP of Versace once the merger is completed. Prada had been pursuing the deal for years. In March, a few weeks before the Prada deal was announced, Donatella Versace stepped down as artistic director after nearly 3 decades at the brand's helm, after taking over from her brother, founder Gianni Versace, who was, of course, famously gunned down outside his South Beach home in 1997. They made a movie about it. In a move to shut up leftists who complain about those who have generational wealth, billionaire couple Michael and Susan Dell on Tuesday said they would donate $250 per child into so-called Trump accounts to 25 million American children. It's a $6.25 billion, very generous investment that the Dells said is designed to jumpstart the kids' future. The money will be given to most children ages 10 and younger who were born before the qualifying date of the Trump accounts, which were created earlier this year through the Republicans' tax and spending bill. Those accounts are designed to provide $1,000 to babies born during President Trump's second term in office. It's a way to help get rid of the idea of generational wealth, if you will. And Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital has earned a major new designation together with Rutgers Robert Wood Johnson Medical School. They are now a NORD Center of Excellence. The organization is the first in New Jersey to receive this rare disease recognition. The honor stems from their cardiac amyloidosis center's clinical and research work. The impressive designation comes from years of innovation and collaboration. Congratulations to them. It is a big deal to get that. It is now 32 degrees. The time is 7:12. Clouds this morning, partly sunny later. It'll be windy and chilly with highs in the upper 30s. Meteorologist Mike Favetta returns with your full Garden State forecast. And we'll take your calls at 888-658-0234. 888-658-0234. You're watching Out of Jersey Mornings. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Our Stable Life, New Jersey's first equine wellness center. Are you or a loved one suffering from PTSDs, trauma, or life challenges? Consider non-riding equine therapy, where the soul is touched by the presence of a horse with a certified counselor. Our Stable Life is a non-profit at Bergen Equestrian Center in Leonia, New Jersey. We partner with individuals, groups, and agencies to help people recover from addiction, trauma, phobias, and more. Explore equine therapy for healing. BergenEquestrianCenter.com.
At AmeriHealth, we understand what's important to you. It's why we offer some of the lowest cost health plans in New Jersey, with access to one of the state's largest networks of doctors and hospitals. Plus, with free 24/7 virtual care, you can see a doctor anytime and anywhere. And we're committed to giving back to help make a difference in our communities. Learn more at AmeriHealth.com. A health plan for everyone.
Very good morning, 7:15. Welcome back to New Jersey Mornings for your Thursday. I'm Ken Rosato, taking calls at 888-658-0234. Meteorologist Mike Favetta has your Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
All right, Mike, listen. Can you hear the beep, or
What's
is the
that?
mic not picking it up? No?
No, I don't
Yes?
hear the beep.
Oh, see, I could have gotten away with it. My microwave was telling me my coffee was heated. Sorry, I was like, shh. Am I going to be able to get it? Is it going to stop beeping? And it kept beeping.
You
Okay,
might get
now I
my
know I
beep.
can get away with it.
The breakfast burrito just went in the air fryer, so we got 10 minutes left on that beep. So we'll see if it
You see that?
coincides. See?
So
We
many
gotta
people think
eat.
we're like in our studios in Nutley. No, we're not. We're in our respective
Mm-mm.
home studios, and this is the best way to do it ever.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Mike. So in terms of weather, it is still chilly. Same as yesterday. This time we had 32.2 right now. It was about
Right.
32.9, I think, yesterday. So basically the same.
The same, but I think tomorrow is going to be the real shock to the system, especially if you're not ready, because there's a big cold shot of air. Yes, even colder than currently across New Jersey. That comes in tonight and will make it feel like 0 waking up tomorrow morning in the northwestern suburbs. So really cold air coming in for tomorrow. So again, like yesterday, it'll warm into the low 40s, which is still cooler than usual, but it'll at least bring back a mix of clouds and sun. Notice the forecast wind chill. This is what I was mentioning. 7 o'clock tonight feels like 3 there in Sussex, 4 in Morristown, 14 in Newark, and as that cold air surges on down, we're down to -1 overnight with that very chilly weather. 10 in Trenton, 16 in Atlantic City. We start off tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. feeling like 5 in Sussex, 11 in Newark, and 20 in Long Branch. So there's really enough cold air to bring back a big harsh chill for the day on Friday. Even afternoon highs will only feel like the 20s. That is like the middle of January type weather. That takes us into the first part of the weekend. Now, Saturday doesn't see much of a rebound with the breezes. It still feels like it's in the 20s throughout the afternoon. And the wind gusts, while not that impressive, they're less than 20 miles per hour. The air is so cold that at that point it doesn't really matter. That any little bit of a gust makes it feel that much chillier. I think we could see some winds return by Monday out of the north and west, and that will make it feel cold again going into next week. So here are some clouds on the way for today, and any of these snow showers are actually ahead of the front that drives in some more cold air into tomorrow. And with that, the Futurecast brings back another round of chilly weather going into the day on Friday. There will be some light snow showers south of the Atlantic City Expressway tomorrow, late morning into the early afternoon. You really have to find yourself south of, say, exit 63 on the Parkway to tap into any of that moisture. The rest of the state is just plain dry. So as we head into the weekend, it is sunny. It is at times cloudy, but overall chilly. That is the key here. The cold weather lingers into next week, at least for the foreseeable future. Ken will show you coming up on the 7-day if there's any warm up in sight. At least for now, look to be locked in with this cold.
April. That's right. I promise you we'll have a warm up in April. That's just, you know what? That's my gut. Now that I reign supreme with my snowflake trivia, I can now say that in April it will be warmer.
I'm going to have a Ken counter. How many times is he going to bring up that he beat me in weather trivia yesterday?
You know that in 20 years, meteorologist Bill Evans at Channel 7 refused to give me my junior weather badge. So if I'm correct,
really?
will you at least, because you can do this, you're a professor, you could petition to get me a junior weather badge. And then we should have him on and you could like mock him and stuff. I think that would be fun. That would be joy. All right, sir. You know I appreciate you. Thank you very much. 32 chilly degrees. Mike is 100% right there. It is 30 degrees in Trenton, 32 northern New Jersey, and it's actually 30 down in Cape May and 31 in Vineland. We do have some issues on the roadways. Let's go to the Garden State Parkway, shall we? Our wonderful Pamela is taking us there. So right now on the Garden State Parkway, we have, oh my gosh, 3 issues. First off, this is a problem. In fact, if you look, did they just pull it off, Pam? They did. So you could see him pulling off to the middle of the road, and there's someone coming the other way. So literally, they're clearing good. I'm glad they're clearing what was a crash. Then it was brought to the shoulder, and now literally live on camera, they're clearing it away. So you'll have some taillights blinking there until that fully clears away. But that was bumper to bumper not a minute ago. That's good to see. That's at exit between 142 and 145. It was causing delays on the northbound side. So just know that it's going to lighten up. If you're stuck in any of that or you have a loved one who is, that will now lighten up. That's good news. We have delays on Route 21 northbound right now. And of course, it just updated. It's from south of Riverside Avenue to Miller Street, Newark. All lanes are open. Over to 202, there's a malfunctioning traffic light both directions at River Road in Branchburg. The left lane is closed. We have a crash on US 1 northbound Old Post Road in Edison Township. 2 right lanes of the 3 lanes closed. Over to Route 15 in Wharton, where remember the sinkhole used to be? Route 15 in Wharton, there's now a building fire, and that's impacting traffic in both directions at North Main Street. So, yeah, that's going to be a mess. We had reported on that for months. Remember that in that area? And we have debris spilled on I-78 local lanes eastbound at exit 56, Elizabeth Avenue, Newark. 2 right lanes of the 3 lanes currently closed. Your Hudson River crossings right now, 35 minutes at the Lincoln, 30 at the Holland. GWB upper and lower levels, very heavy this morning. Look at that. It is bumper to bumper, 45 minutes in, no matter what approach or what level you take. It is 7:21. Actor Tracy Morgan and comedian returned to Hackensack Meridian JFK Johnson Rehabilitation Institute to honor a nurse who cares for patients with brain injuries. Remember, Morgan suffered some injuries himself in that horrible crash a few years back. Morgan presented the Tracy Morgan Award for Rehabilitation Nursing Excellence to registered nurse Gilbert Recto, praising him and the staff as, quote, angels who help patients rebuild their lives. It was back in 2014 when Morgan underwent months of rehab at JFK Johnson. He had that crash back then. He visited with patients and encouraged their families, saying, people who love you will never give up. That is a good man. And a lot of people have said beautiful things about Tracy Morgan. Good for him for doing that. 7:22. Another nice heartwarming thing here. The Arc of Monmouth is holding its 59th annual Winter Glow Gala, or gala, depending on where you're from. Tomorrow evening, it's starting at 6 o'clock at the Gramercy in Hazlitt. This year, the ARC will honor Senator Vin Gopal. There will be a performance by the Broadcast Club, participants from the ARC's Recreation Department. Come on out, support the ARC as they help so many people with disabilities to live fuller, more independent lives. God bless them for what they do. Hey, want to win free Wendy's for a year? Get over to Burlington, New Jersey this Saturday. I was going to say New Jersey. This Saturday, it's Burlington. Fans of the fast food chain, can get a shot at winning a year's worth of Wendy's when the newly remodeled store, and it looks beautiful, by the way, reopens to the public starting at 10:30 in the morning. Now, get there before, like as far before as you can, because the first 100 in line for the opening at this Wendy's in Burlington, the first 100 get Wendy's for a year for free. That's a cool deal. So get there early. The earlier you get there before 10:30, the better your shot. Flynn Group is Wendy's largest franchisee. It officially is reopening this newly remodeled restaurant on Mount Holly Road with a huge community event. The company expects the restaurant to add about 45 new jobs to the area. Thank you to Flynn for that. It is 7:23. Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy just got doxxed by Grok. Yeah, Grok, like the AI Grok on X. Grok is that artificial intelligence chatbot owned by Elon Musk. It apparently doxed Portnoy on Saturday when it published his home address on X. The post, which remained online as of Tuesday, raised concerns over what some say are the chatbot's apparent lack of guardrails. There's no edit button on Grok. The incident began Saturday. Portnoy shared an image of his front lawn after it was vandalized as part of a college football rivalry. It wasn't intentionally to hurt him. So a commenter apparently responded by tagging Grok, asking, "Where is this at?" Bad grammar. There should just be, "Where is this?" But nonetheless, after noticing a manatee-themed mailbox in the photo. So that obviously made it unique. Well, Grok responded with an address in Florida, or as they say locally, Florida, noting that the manatee mailbox fits the Keys vibe perfectly. The post has been viewed more than 3 million times. Please leave the guy alone. He is a nice man. 7:24 right now, and Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro ripped into former Vice President Kamala Harris, accusing her of spreading blatant lies about him. That's the quote. In her memoir chronicling her failed White House bid. Shapiro was once on Harris's shortlist to be vice president. He reportedly became furious when he learned what the former Veep in her awful book, 107 Days, which is not selling well at all, by the way. In the book, she describes him as, quote, arrogant, domineering, and captivated by VP perks during the vetting process. Shapiro responded by saying that's complete and utter bullshit. That's his quote. I can tell you that her accounts are just blatant lies. Now, in the book recounting the 107 days of her awful campaign, and it was awful, Harris said Shapiro was fixated on the vice presidential residence, measuring drapes, counting bedrooms, and questioning if the Smithsonian would lend Pennsylvania art for display. The truth, when she asked him to be the VP running mate, word is like in a day, he realized she was going to lose her ass just bad. And he called her and said, withdraw my name. So, but you know what they say, somewhere between the two lies the truth. I could see him being a little ambitious, but he's also a very good politician. I don't agree with him politically, but he's a very sharp man, a very good politician, and she is somewhat the loser. So somewhere in between is the truth. He was measuring grapes, she says, and he says, I didn't want anything to do with her, and she's lying. So we'll see. All right, now we talk about Rockefeller Center. This is cool. It is official. The Rockefeller Center Christmas tree has been lit, and the city is officially in Christmas mode, which is the best city in the world. Oh, we're showing the wrong one. You're showing the okay. All right. It's okay, Pam. It's okay. I forgive you. That is not the tree that got lit. That's the 1931 tree. That's the original Charlie Brown Christmas tree. That was only 20 feet tall. And by the way, that tree was the result of a bunch of workers in Rockefeller Center pitching in their money, pennies apiece, to afford that tree back in 1931. Boy, have we come a long way. Listen, do we have the countdown?
Gentlemen, are we ready? Let's do it.
That is the Rockefeller Center. And that was where we created. So imagine in your mind, we started with the countdown and then I talked back to the origins of the tree. Pam says, I didn't do it. And I believe Pam. So that is a 75-foot tall Norway spruce from a backyard in upstate Rensselaer County, New York. It's lit up in 50,000 stunning colored lights. Rockefeller Center, bringing on Christmas. All right, very good. It is now 7:27. We have 29 chilly degrees. When we come back, seasonal depression is a real thing. We're going to talk about how to minimize the effects on New Jersey mornings.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Our Stable Life, New Jersey's first equine wellness center. Are you or a loved one suffering from PTSDs, trauma, or life challenges? Consider non-riding equine therapy, where the soul is touched by the presence of a horse with a certified counselor. Our Stable Life is a non-profit at Bergen Equestrian Center in Leonia, New Jersey. We partner with individuals, groups, and agencies to help people recover from addiction, trauma, phobias, and more. Explore equine therapy for healing. BergenEquestrianCenter.com.
At AmeriHealth, we understand what's important to you. It's why we offer some of the lowest cost health plans in New Jersey, with access to one of the state's largest networks of doctors and hospitals. Plus, with free 24/7 virtual care, you can see a doctor anytime and anywhere. And we're committed to giving back to help make a difference in our communities. Learn more at AmeriHealth.com. A health plan for everyone.
Very good morning. 29 degrees northern New Jersey, 30 degrees in Trenton at 7:30 on Thursday, December 4th, 2025. Christmas just 3 weeks from tomorrow, right? 21, 24. Yeah, got to do my math. 3 weeks from tomorrow. Wow. I'm Ken Rosato. Welcome back to ONNJ Mornings. Clouds this morning, partly sunny later, windy, chilly, highs upper 30s. Meteorologist Mike Favetta with the detailed Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
All right, Mike, before we let you start your forecast, and now you're probably exhausted if you stood up a little bit for the Rockefeller Center's 10 p.m. Christmas tree lighting. And please, Rockefeller Center folks, don't ever do it at 10 p.m. again.
It was late.
At 7, 8 o'clock is good. Kids want to see it, and, whatever.
Sure.
But I don't know if you saw this story. We have to get to this story really fast. What do you get? That is a raccoon. That is a drunk raccoon. So clearly the raccoon got into the holiday spirit. This raccoon broke into a Virginia liquor store, knocked over a bunch of the bottles, intentionally or not. Rocky the raccoon, yeah, we'll call him that, decided to sample what he spilled and paid for it. At least he knew to head to the bathroom, where he passed out flat on the floor next to the toilet. How did he know to go there? It's just, it tells you it's genetic. Animal control officers let the critter sober up before they released it back into the wild. It may have been too late, though. I'm adding this part. This part is false. Okay. The raccoon keeps returning to the liquor store and breaking in. Okay. I added that part.
Geez.
The raccoon has a little issue. We have a therapist coming on next. Maybe we should talk to her about the raccoon's addiction. But let's just a reminder, if you want to drink during this holiday season, please take a car share or a cab, and please have a relative with you, right? Please. You can drink what you want.
Very important.
Just make sure you're not driving. Very
That's
important.
right.
We've had too many accidents of late. Anyway, hello, sir. So it is chilly and getting chillier.
It is. It's really cold, and it stays chilly over the next few days. In fact, it gets even colder by tomorrow. Today is almost a repeat of yesterday. We started off the morning down around freezing, climbing into the low 40s by this afternoon. But tomorrow starts off much colder, and the reason for that is this reinforcing shot of cold air that comes in. It's allowing for wind gusts now to be anywhere from, say, 7 to 14 miles per hour, but we'll bring back another round of cold air into tomorrow. We are way below our average of 49 degrees and keeping it cold through this afternoon. Notice a couple of these clouds that are starting to work in from the north and west. That's in advance of the colder air that comes in later on tonight. You can see it reflected here in the temperatures by 4 o'clock today. This is afternoon temperature, actual air temperature, not a wind chill, of 19 degrees in Sussex, going all the way down to 17 in Newark by tomorrow morning, and 11 back on the green in Morristown. If you find yourself south of, say, LBI, could run into a few snow showers tomorrow, late in the morning, early afternoon, but that zips on by. It's not expected to accumulate. Just a little round of nuisance wet and mixed with snow weather. And then by Saturday, we're back into the chilly territory, right around freezing, but just a mix of clouds and sun throughout the afternoon. The bigger picture showing that next round of cold air that comes in later on tonight, followed by some clear sky into the day tomorrow. Again, if you're in South Jersey, run into a few extra clouds, maybe a snow shower, doesn't accumulate. And then more cold air comes in for Saturday into Sunday, leading with just clouds. Could be another flake or flurry late in the evening, Sunday night, going into Monday. So the 7-day forecast does not show much relief. In fact, it stays much colder than it should, feeling more like the end of January rather than the beginning of December. The weekend, chilly. Highs only in the low 40s. And then next week, we're not done with the cold. 18 Tuesday morning, climbing only to a high of 36. If you're thinking, well, maybe I can get some relief down the shore. Now you have snow and rain on the way for tomorrow, bringing back a little bit of the warmth only into the mid 40s on Saturday and Sunday, and then right back in the freezer with overnight lows in the 20s, Ken, early next week. So yes, with Christmas around the corner, like you mentioned, 3 weeks away, it's feeling like the season already.
There you have it. I love it when Mother Nature cooperates. Thank you very much, Mike. We appreciate it. 31 degrees northern New Jersey, 30 degrees in Trenton. Right now, we have a lot of accidents to talk about. So let's go over to US 1. There is an overturned vehicle being worked on right now. Watch, you can see the flashing lights there just in the middle left of the screen, just beyond those vehicles. So that's causing a lot of traffic. This is US 1 northbound, Old Post Road North in Edison. The 2 right lanes of the 3 lanes now closed due to that incident. That's going to cause a mess in the town of Edison. We have a malfunctioning traffic light, 202 both directions at River Road in Branchburg Township. The left lane is closed. And now over to Wharton. We have a building fire reported on Route 15. It's impacting traffic in both directions at North Main Street in Wharton with all lanes closed. Now, this is the highway. You can see Route 15 off to the side. And Pam, our director, was saying just beginning to see some buildup there. This is about a half a mile to 3/4 of a mile from where that fire is. So I'm sure in the next 15 minutes, you're going to see that build more and more as that impacts traffic in the region. We have a debris spill on I-78 local lanes eastbound at exit 56 Elizabeth Avenue in Newark with the 2 right lanes closed. And right now, delays on 280 westbound east of exit 16E Essex Street in Harrison to 14E King Street in Newark. All lanes open. It's about a 3-mile delay right there. GWB, upper and lower levels, very heavy right now. In fact, we're told about 45 to 50 minutes. GWB, upper and lower level 8095 approaches. If we could show that. Okay. Oh, there we go. All right, we'll stretch. So that is what you see right there. That is the 8095 approach. Where our next interview just literally just dropped off. So we were about to go to her. So we'll fix it up. But that is nonetheless, Pam. I'll tap dance and we'll try to get the doc back on. One of my favorite interviews ever. I love our doctor, Dr. Tara Chalakani. She is perfect for what we're about to talk about. So we'll get her back on. In the meantime, in terms of the other Hudson River approaches, Lincoln Tunnel right now, they're reporting 35 to 40 minutes across on the Hudson River. There's Dr. Chalakani. She's coming on. The other approach to the Holland Tunnel right now is pretty heavy, 139, but it's still a better bet than either the GWB or the Lincoln with about a 30-minute crossover time into Manhattan. You tell me when, Pam. Right now it's 7:37 and we have 31 degrees in northern New Jersey, 30 degrees in Trenton. And our forecast again today, some clouds this morning and then becoming partly sunny later through the day. But it's going to be breezy. You're going to feel the chill in the air, as Mike was telling us. That is because of the season. This is what happens as fronts come and go. All right, with the limited daylight hours and colder temperatures, many people notice there's a shift in their moods, sometimes in ways that go far beyond just the winter blues. And to help us understand what is called seasonal depression, it's a real thing, and I was diagnosed with it years ago, why it happens and what we can do to support ourselves and others, we say good morning to our dear friend, Dr. Tara Chalakani, CEO of Preferred Behavioral Healthcare and co-host of the Well Off podcast. Always great to have you on, Doctor.
Good to see you, Ken. And what a great weather forecast to lead into this discussion.
Exactly, right. It's wonderful when Mother Nature cooperates. So for people who think I just deal with it, it is a real thing. I have never considered myself a person who has mood swings or depression or anything else, but at least for the first, I'd say for 4 to 6 weeks, not the first, it's right in the middle when it gets really short in terms of daylight. I feel it. And I have a light to wake up to in the morning that I turn on the second my eyes open. And that's what helps boost my mood. So seasonal depression is an absolute real thing. Talk about that for us, please.
It's absolutely real, Ken. So what we see is about 20% of the population feels the winter blues. But I think we see it more in New Jersey and in the Northeast because we're north of the equator. Our days are shorter, so it's a little bit more prevalent than, let's say, if you're living in Key West. You're not going to really be impacted by it as much. But of those folks, 5% actually qualify for the diagnosis of seasonal affective disorder or seasonal depression, which is more serious and does require treatment. So I'm glad you're bringing it up, and I'm glad you use a light because light exposure is one of the best ways to combat seasonal affective disorder or the winter blues.
And I think it might be genetic, doctor, because my father, who is now 95, In this time of year, he has a little dementia, but this time of year specifically, he uses light therapy because otherwise he can't even get to sleep at night if he doesn't do light therapy. So we have him doing it during the day, and it actually helps him not only get to sleep, but stay asleep, and it boosts his mood during the day. So there's no question. I'm 100% sold on this. It makes a difference. To me, it's like having a little cup of coffee. That's the equivalent in terms of what it does to my mood in the morning. And for anyone curious, just talk to your doctor. Specifically, go to, I would say, a mental health specialist, right, who can prescribe that, because it's not just any light. You can't just turn on a light. This is a specific frequency of light that you put on.
Right.
You have to, right, do it the minute you wake up. So, but not everybody will have the diagnosis, right? Some people just feel a little winter blue and whatever. So how do you know where the line is drawn?
So the biggest red flag that we need to be mindful of is if you already have a pre-existing mental health disorder. So if you suffer with depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, whether presently or historically, that's really the first red flag, like I said. So that's what you need to watch out for and prepare for. So if you know you're already predisposed, you need to be mindful. And the other piece is what we can't control. It's where we live. It's living north of the equator. It's shorter days. It's cloudier days. And those are things we can't control. But to combat it, to prevent it, to be aware, number one, you need to know yourself and know what your history is, what your personality is, how you deal in the winter typically. And the two biggies for everything, Ken, is diet and exercise. You know, really eating a healthy diet, making sure you move your body, getting enough rest. I mean, those are the three biggies that really can cure anything, you know, if they're done well and in moderation. But getting exposure to light, whether artificial, like you said, prescribed by a physician or a mental health provider, or just getting outside. You know, there's UVA, UVB rays outside, even though the sun isn't shining, even if you go out for 5 minutes on your lunch break or, you know, walk around the block, take your dog for a walk. It is brutal sometimes with the cold, but that little bit of light, even for 5 minutes, can help.
And by the way, we're only about 30 seconds left, but even in Florida, the days are significantly shorter, even though they have bright sunshine during the day. So I know people who suffer from it in Florida. So it exists everywhere. What's your old website for more information, doctor?
We are preferredbehavioralhealth.org. We're here to help all of New Jersey, whether it's seasonal affective disorder or any other mental health disorder. We're here to support you.
And yes, and do not fear reaching out. It's the best thing you can do. Dr. Tara Chalakani, CEO of Preferred Behavioral Healthcare, co-host of the Well Off podcast. We always love when you come on. Happy holidays to you.
Thank you. Same to you, Ken.
Thank you, doctor. Love having her on. 7:42 and clouds this morning, partly sunny later, windy, chilly, highs upper 30s. We're coming back with meteorologist Mike Favetta, the full Garden State forecast in a moment.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Our Stable Life, New Jersey's first equine wellness center. Are you or a loved one suffering from PTSDs, trauma, or life challenges? Consider non-riding equine therapy, where the soul is touched by the presence of a horse with a certified counselor. Our Stable Life is a non-profit at Bergen Equestrian Center in Leonia, New Jersey. We partner with individuals, groups, and agencies to help people recover from addiction, trauma, phobias, and more. Explore equine therapy for healing. BergenEquestrianCenter.com.
At AmeriHealth, we understand what's important to you. It's why we offer some of the lowest cost health plans in New Jersey, with access to one of the state's largest networks of doctors and hospitals. Plus, with free 24/7 virtual care, you can see a doctor anytime and anywhere. And we're committed to giving back to help make a difference in our communities. Learn more at AmeriHealth.com. A health plan for everyone.
Welcome back to ONNJ Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato at 7:45, taking your calls, 888-658-0234. And I love it because, sometimes we say, well, we're not getting calls right now. And I wonder, are people watching? And then I go and look over at our social media and it's exploding. And people are commenting on social media, but they don't want to call in. And I get that because even when I do talk radio over at WOR, we have a cadre of and they've been doing talk radio there for decades. So this is why they have a cadre of people who call in a lot. And then there are tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands who don't want to call in. And I've encountered these people on the streets and in malls. I know you're saying, Ken, that's just hearsay, whatever. No, I talk to these folks and they're like, I don't like to call in. I don't want to get involved. I don't like to debate. Like, you don't have to debate. Just ask a question and hang up. That's fine. A lot of people do that. Anyway, 888-658-0234. Meteorologist Mike Favetta has the Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, Mike, they're like afraid because they're thinking that I'm going to jump on them if they don't agree with me on everything or something. And you know me long enough that you know that that's not my style. I would, especially a caller. Every caller who calls here would be treated with respect, unlike our staff.
Stop. We love our staff. But, it
Yes,
is
we
more
do.
of a texting society now. This is a question for Dr. Chalikani, right? What is the fear of calling in? Because now we do, send messages more efficiently, more easily. We're in the middle of our day. There's a variety of reasons, I'm sure.
I think you're right. I think the pandemic did not help, and especially the
Right.
next generations are like Gen Z has been raised on this.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's why you get so many younger people. This is not to throw them under the bus entirely, but you have a lot of Gen Zers who'll stand at a group setting and not say anything. There's no verbal skill because they're not used to it. They could be sitting next to each other, texting one another.
Or how many times on our
LOL.
morning call after the show do I have my camera off, right? Because I'm in the middle of doing, morning errands and stuff. So yeah, it's even amongst colleagues, I could see the
Yeah, but that's different. I mean, like for instance, I'm dressed, just for those who don't realize, I'm dressed in shorts. So, sometimes you don't necessarily want because I'm inside, I don't have to commute to work and there's nobody around me. But, sometimes it is what it is. We keep the camera off. That's okay for certain times. And by the way, I know you can't unsee that ugly knee, but nonetheless, I'm tying you up. Let you get to your forecast because
good.
it is a chilly one.
It is a chilly one, Ken. Good morning. Yeah, if you're looking to maybe go to a warmer locale, this week would be the weekend to do it, especially with temperatures this afternoon only climbing into the 30s. Feels chilly all around the state this morning into the afternoon, but gets even colder as our drier weather prevails through the next few days. So we'll probably see a bit of an improvement to the drought monitor. We've seen some of these severe areas pop up in northwestern New Jersey. We're still running a bit drier than average statewide, less than about 1 to 2 inches there up in the northwestern corner, but that's an improvement as far as the broad shade of red that took over most of the northern part of the state just a week ago. Obviously, all of that rain helped out. Look at the core of the cold upstate, just to our north. Well, that sliding down. This is over the next 2 weeks. We are not done with the cold anytime soon. In fact, the coldest is yet to come, and that arrives late tonight into tomorrow, begins late tonight into tomorrow and lasts into next week, and then slightly higher than average rain chances going into the next week. The 7-day forecast into early next week. Week 2 of December keeps temperatures chilly. Highs just making it to freezing by Monday. Overnight lows back down in the teens, and through the end of next week, it stays cold with the temperatures only getting into the low 40s as highs. So that's more of end of December weather rather than early December weather, Ken.
All right. We will take note of that. Thank you very much, Mike. Appreciate it. 7:50 right now, and it is a chilly 36 degrees northern New Jersey, 30 though in Trenton. So again, we're getting maybe a little breeze from the Hudson River impacting us, and that's warming us a little bit, a few degrees. You go inland more like that than Trenton, and they are down to 30. So we were colder like that just about half an hour ago. Let's take a look at other roadways right now. Pam, let's take it over to I-78. So we have a debris spill on I-78 local lanes eastbound at exit 56, Elizabeth Ave in Newark. 2 right lanes of the 3 lanes are closed, and that is about a mile beyond where these folks are on your screen. Headed toward you. So that's causing that little bit of a volume delay because of that. We have delays on 287 eastbound from north of exit 37, Route 24, Hanover Township to exit 2, which is Columbia Turnpike, Florham Park. All lanes are open, just some delays there as a result. And now we go over to our favorite place from months ago, at least, not years ago, but Route 15 in Wharton. This is near where that sinkhole was. You can't, oh boy. Just past it, you can't really tell here. Just about a half a mile from where this is, there is a building fire that crews have been working on. It's not a very highly populated area, so that's why there isn't a lot of buildup. But suffice to say, if you are in that area, there is a building fire on Route 15 in Wharton. It's impacting Route 15 at Main Street in all directions with all lanes closed. Just be aware of that. Your approaches to the Hudson River right now, I always confuse in my brain Hudson and Holland. So I'm sorry about that. I just had an on-air short circuit. The Holland Tunnel is your best bet of the 3. It's about 25 minutes across. Lincoln Tunnel is 35 to 40. GWB upper and lower levels today, bumper to bumper. It's amazing how 2 days ago it was flying at this hour, and right now it's bumper to bumper, not caused by anything specifically. This is just volume. All trucks, you notice, all making both food and gift deliveries into Manhattan so that you could do your shopping for the holidays and people visiting town will have food to eat. It has to come in somehow, and this is the way it does. People forget about that. They think it just magically appears from heaven or something. I mean, it does appear from heaven, but through these guys and ladies. It is 7:52 right now, and Liberty House in Jersey City kicked off the holiday season last week with a heartwarming celebration, bringing together students, teachers, and community. More than 350 local students filled the venue to deck the halls for the 20th annual Snowflake Awards, a tradition that shines a spotlight on arts programs in area schools. And now to spruce things up, our Lisa Marie Falbo has the story.
Liberty House in Jersey City opened its doors for a joyful holiday gathering, bringing together students, teachers, and the community to celebrate the spirit of the season. It's a holiday tradition 2 decades strong. At Liberty House, more than 350 Jersey City students arrived ready to deck the halls and its trees for the 20th Annual Snowflake Awards, which celebrates and supports art programs in local schools.
Snowflake Awards is something, yes, like we're doing it now for 20 years. We feel it's a way to really kick off the holiday season and to do it in a way that really embraces the community.
With over a dozen of themed trees lining Liberty House, students from across the state showed off their imagination. From classic Christmas looks to pop culture favorites and heartfelt tributes. This year, a panel of celebrity judges, including Art House Executive Director Meredith Burns, The Voice and American Idol contestant Haley Mia, and yours truly, had the tough job of choosing the winners.
A lot of sparkle and jazz and pizzazz. A lot of the messages on all of these trees deal with kindness and empathy, and what great lessons to teach our kids. This tree has a very specific purpose. This tree honors the strong and brave women in our PS6 school and community who have fought or are fighting breast cancer.
And beyond the trees, students lit up the room with holiday performances, including ballroom dancing and a special performance by Haley Mia.
They get to dance, have fun, meet other kids from other schools. It's an annual tradition here at Liberty House, and it's really, really special to be part of.
At the end of the morning, 3 schools earned this year's top honors, recognized not just for creativity, but for teamwork and school pride. All of the trees will be displayed at Maddie Rose Restaurant throughout the holiday season.
I think they're going to be really proud of everybody, and it's really going to be nice, heartwarming. Right before the holidays, I think they'll be really proud.
It's not really about winning, but it's more so for them to embrace the experience.
And of course, no holiday celebration is complete without a visit from Santa, who made the trip from the North Pole to congratulate the students and help kick off the season. For By Landmark, this isn't just a tradition. It's a commitment to uplifting the communities they serve.
Merry Christmas!
From Liberty House in Jersey City, happy holidays. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo for ONNJ Jersey.
It was love Lisa Marie's work, but that's an especially cute piece. And thank you for doing that, Lisa Marie. We always love when that is in. And for all those kids there, thank you for doing what you do there. 7:56 right now, and a sad story here, unfortunately. There's a homeless man with 16 prior serious arrests who attacked an NYU student while she was walking to class on Monday. 20-year-old student Amelia Lewis demanded something be done to prevent the repeat offender from targeting other people. Now, it's not that just he has psychological issues. That's the gentleman who is now allegedly accused of this crime. Surveillance video shows Lewis walking to class. Lewis is the young woman on the bottom there. Shows her walking to class on Broadway in Greenwich Village. In fact, she's in the school building at NYU where I used to go, 721 Broadway. A man runs up behind her near Waverly Street, and he appears to slap her on the butt and then shoves her to the ground, knocking off her headphones. She could have gotten a concussion, anything. Police arrested 45-year-old James Rizzo, the gentleman you see walking in the attack, charged him with persistent sexual abuse, forcible touching, and assault. Now, the New York State Department of Corrections says Rizzo was out on parole when he did this, allegedly, after serving time for sex abuse. So the question is, 16 prior serious arrests, why is he still walking the streets? You just have to think about this. New York doesn't want to be cruel, but at the same time, you need to protect your citizens. That's your first job as public servants, to make sure that people are safe in the streets. This young woman going to NYU, she wants to just live her best life. She's not bothering anybody, and she has a right to walk the streets and not be assaulted by a man who has been arrested and served time for sexual assault. This has got to be taken care of. 16 serious arrests. Come on, people in New York. We're better than that. 7:57, when we come back, lots of people bake cookies for the holidays, but if you taste cookies from Chip City Cookies, let's just say that you will want to ditch your recipe book and just buy from them and tell everybody you did it yourself. Chip City is amazing. We're going to have them on. And we'll take your calls at 888-658-0234. You're watching ONNJ Jersey Mornings. We're back in 2.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Our Stable Life, New Jersey's first equine wellness center. Are you or a loved one suffering from PTSDs, trauma, or life challenges? Consider non-riding equine therapy, where the soul is touched by the presence of a horse with a certified counselor. Our Stable Life is a non-profit at Bergen Equestrian Center in Leonia, New Jersey. We partner with individuals, groups, and agencies to help people recover from addiction, trauma, phobias, and more. Explore equine therapy for healing. BergenEquestrianCenter.com.
At AmeriHealth, we understand what's important to you. It's why we offer some of the lowest cost health plans in New Jersey, with access to one of the state's largest networks of doctors and hospitals. Plus, with free 24/7 virtual care, you can see a doctor anytime and anywhere. And we're committed to giving back to help make a difference in our communities. Learn more at AmeriHealth.com. A health plan for everyone.
All right, good morning. It's 8 a.m. on Thursday, December 4th, 2025. Welcome back to ONNJ Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato. We'll take your calls at 888-658-0234. Meteorologist Mike Favetta has the full Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
So you can really feel how cold it is. It's sort of a piercing cold when you open the door. And Mike, I want to know if you have a personal textable number that I can contact Mother Nature with, just to see even if she could just bring it up 5 degrees. Is it me?
That would be nice. That would be nice. I hear the number's not in service at the time being. You get the auto reply vacation message because even my nature went down to warmer climates. It's just a little too cold for some, right? I don't know. I hear our director Pam thinking, but we love the cold, right? There are some
She
that love
loves
the
the
cold. We don't want to
cold.
demonize the frigid weather, but yet here we are in the middle of what is a really cold period that will send overnight temperatures down to feeling like sub-zero in northern New Jersey. Yeah, some big time chill on the way. We start off this morning around freezing, Ken, and whether you find yourself up in the mountains or down at the shore, it's cold with temperatures feeling like they're around 20 in Toms River or 27 over in Sussex. But it is the wind chill that will make it all that much worse going into tonight and tomorrow, allowing for that deep freeze to settle in. Plenty of sun this morning, temperatures trying to warm back into just above freezing. And then as we head into tonight and tomorrow, look at this actual air temperature of 6 in Sussex, 10 in Morristown, 17 in Newark, and 23 in Toms River. Way too cold. Going into tomorrow afternoon, there's likely going to be some light snowflakes and maybe mixed with some rain and snow tomorrow morning into the afternoon, briefly down the shore south of LBI. But beyond that, everybody else just stays dry. I don't even think a lot of these flakes and flurries reach the ground. The air is just simply too cold and too dry. And then heading into the weekend, plan on mostly cloudy skies. We might get a break of sun here or there, but it's just generally cold all around, with that chill even lasting into next week. So we get another shot of cold air on the way after tonight's deep freeze. We'll give you an update on how that will feel coming up with another check of your forecast, Ken, in a few minutes.
All right. Thank you very much, Mike. It is currently 35 degrees northern New Jersey, 31 degrees in Trenton, and 31 degrees in Cape May right now. In terms of traffic, we have a building fire still on Route 15, both directions, North Main Street in Wharton, with the ramp lane now closed northbound and the left lane of 4 lanes closed southbound. That's going to be going on for a while as they have police and fire activity. Now you can see. See this, Pam, our director, knew exactly where this is because she drives past there. And now you can see what's going on. This was not happening 5 minutes ago, but we told you it was going to start happening as things were building because of that fire. Thank you, Pam, for that. We have a malfunctioning traffic light on 202 in both directions, River Road, Branchburg, with the left lane of 2 lanes closed. I-78 has a debris spill, local lanes eastbound at exit 56, Elizabeth Avenue, Newark. 2 right lanes of the 3 lanes closed, causing what you see on your screen right there. In terms of your Hudson River crossings, Holland Tunnel, it's been your best bet all morning. It's about 30 minutes now across 35 at the Lincoln. GWB upper and lower levels, 8095 approaches bumper to bumper all morning long. Lots of trucks bringing their goods into Manhattan and food service because of all the tourists we have in town. So that's what you got. Upper level on the right, lower level on the left. It's going to cost you about 45 to 50 minutes making your way into Manhattan via the GWB. 8:04. And did you know that today is one of my favorite days of the year? In fact, I worship it as a holiday. It is National Cookie Day. Cookie, by the way, for those who don't realize the word, because I'm a fanatic about languages, it comes from the Dutch, meaning little cake. A koekje. That's a koekje in Dutch, means little cake. And that's what a cookie is, right? Well, there is a cookie company in our area and around the whole country now. It's called Chip City Cookies. Chip City. Okay. And by the way, here's one of their little mascots. They were nice enough to send me Chip City Cookies. Thank you, Chip City. I will make sure that a good child gets that. See, it still has the tag. So I'll make sure that somebody deserving gets that. But Chip City Cookies is famous for its giant, gooey, over-the-top creations. And it's celebrating in a big way today by giving away free Chewies. They're delicious cookie thins with any in-app purchase at all 50 plus locations across 10 states. Joining us to talk about the giveaway, the brand's rapid rise, and what's next for this dessert destination is Lorraine Palazzo, Chief Operating Officer of Chip City Cookies. We say to you, good morning and happy holidays to you, Lorraine.
Hi, Ken. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here, and it's also my favorite day of the year, too.
See that? I'm glad we have good taste. We celebrate a proper day instead of all these weird days. It's like National Silver Pan Day. Who cares about that? This is what we're talking about.
This is an important one. This is a cookie.
So as you're talking, I am going to, and here's what I'm going to do, because I don't want to put my paws over every cookie. So this is a clean tissue, because I'm going to give a lot of these away to our staff. But you guys were nice enough to send over boxes of cookies. So why don't we let you talk and I'll just display. It doesn't look nice. You know what? I'll just do this. It doesn't look nice when I do that. We have, look at
Let me ask you first, which one did you eat?
I had the chocolate chip, and I'll tell you what I had that I fell in love with. Here, just to show you. I didn't want to show that on camera, but I might as well. And look at my new favorite ever, the Linzer. I have never really loved a Linzer tart. Your Linzer tart, you don't need the jelly. Usually the jelly is the best part of a Linzer tart, and the rest of the cookie tastes meh. Your Linzer tart cookie is sick good. It is delicious. So what kind of magic do you sprinkle in that?
I'm happy to hear you say that. So we are known for our 5-ounce classic cookies. And they are cake-like because they're so big. And we rotate every Friday new flavors. And the Linzer tart just launched. That's the very first time we've ever launched that cookie this past Friday, and it'll be on the menu all week. But today for National Cookie Day, we always give away a free cookie in our app. So for people that have our app, it's an automatic free cookie. You don't have to have a purchase. For those are the customers that have been with us. For brand new customers, they just download the app and they can also get a free cookie. And this year we're going to give away our Chewies, which is our thinner version of our classic 5-ounce cookie, which seems to be the trend.
You got me with my mouth full.
That's okay.
So these are the ones you're talking about, right? Those are the
we call them Chewies, and we have 5 flavors. Yeah, chocolate chip. But we took our most popular core flavors of our classic size, and we made a thinner version.
That's so cool because and then are you kidding me? Your whoopie pies, and by the way, there are two missing from what you sent me for a reason. They're missing for a reason because yes, I consume them and they're that good. When did you decide to do whoopie pies? Have you always decided to do that? Because not a lot of places do that. They're not easy to make.
It was an accident. When we launched our Chewies, we were trying to launch one, a Nutella one, and we couldn't figure out how to put the Nutella on top without ruining it in the packaging. And the Chewy Witch was born. And
I love it.
It was a whole other line, and it's been very popular. So people love them.
I believe
we try to be really creative and inventive with all of our cookie flavors, which is what we do, and it's what we do really well.
You sure do. Look, I've been to Maine when I was a kid, and I remember trying what was, a whoopie pie, and this is sort of a take on a whoopie pie. And I thought, wow, this is good. And then I figured, oh, it's going to be everywhere because that's an old thing, a whoopie pie. They have them in like Amish, Pennsylvania, and up in Maine. Not too many other places because it takes a little love to make them. And yours is just amazing. Now, I just want to show everybody the quantity that you guys sent. And I'm sorry to say guys, that's vernacular for you.
No,
nice
that's fine.
folks.
I understand what you mean. We sent, I wanted to send you Chewies to spotlight our National Cookie Day, but also give you a really good idea of what we have and to show your audience who isn't familiar with us our stars.
I'm going to zoom in. So that
and you
can,
brought up
this,
the Chewy Witch. I sent you two because we have two on the menu right now, and one is we're doing a collab with JetBlue, which we call our Jetty Confetti. So if you have a JetBlue credit card, you just link it to our app, and you get points for buying that Jetty Confetti on your JetBlue credit card. And we're doing that collab with them until the end of the year.
So if here, Pam, if you want to show, and this is only bent, I'll tell you why it's bent like that. You got the cookies here still hot. They were hot. So, of course, the box, I tilted the box, and that's why it's curved. It's normally nice and flat.
It's also an excuse to eat it because it doesn't look perfect. So you have to break it really quick and eat it so that you don't have any mismatches in the box, right?
But yes, of course. Of course, that's exactly what I was going to say.
That's my logic.
And that's good logic. Here's a question. So many bakeries today, generic air quotes, so many bakeries go with cheaper ingredients. And even though the cookies look nice, they have no flavor. What is going on? And how do you manage to make your cookies have just explosive amounts of flavor? Like one bite, you think, oh, this is amazing. How does that happen?
Well, we use the highest quality ingredients to start with. Our butter, our flour is European. We only use Calais chocolates. We have never skimped when it comes to the quality of ingredients because that's what you taste in your cookie. And I think that's the reason. And then just trying to keep our cookies as creative and as innovative as possible, which I know sometimes people think like, how do you get innovative in cookies? But it's just things like developing the Linzer tart. So that's an iconic bakery cookie. And how do we make it with the same integrity, just more Chip City? And like you said, we were able to get that buttery without the dryness. I know what you're talking about. A Linzer tart is often dry and you need the jelly. And we wanted it to be forward with butter. So if you are going to treat yourself on something that is a high quality cookie. When you want to spend the calories and treat yourself right. And that's where we really, I guess, thrive.
All right. So that Linzer tart, and what do you call it there? It's not called a Linzer tart, right? At Chip City?
No, we did. We called it a Linzer. It's just a Chip City Linzer tart.
So it is, just so that people know, there is a layer of jelly throughout. Every bite is so many times you get a Linzer tart, it's like a dry, crumbly, flavorless cookie. And the only part that's semi-good is the jelly part. So you make sure you get a bite of the jelly with it. Mm-hmm. This thing, I don't care where you bite the cookie. You could bite it at the edge. You could bite it in the middle. It is flavor. It is so good. We're down to a minute, so I want to make sure we get a website so people could find their nearest location of Chip City.
It's chipcitycookies.com. We actually have 3 locations in New Jersey, Montclair, Ridgewood, and Hoboken. Plus we're in the tri-state area, and now we're in 10 states: Texas, Chicago, Boston, Philly.
That is good. And the goal is to keep growing, right? Get those locations out there. It is so good. Lorraine Palazzo, Chief Operating Officer of Chip City Cookies. Thank you for sending these over. Happy Cookie Day, and enjoy your holidays too with all your Chip City cookies.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the cookies for everybody on the crew.
Thank you very much. Yes, we all thank you. Have a wonderful holiday.
Thank you.
And when we come back, you bet, Montclair welcomes Rec Room. We're going to tell you how co-working in that hub makes waves. We'll be right back.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Hey, New Jersey, want to choose how you live as you age? Tune into AARP New Jersey's new show, The Power of Us, the show that celebrates aging with dignity, purpose, and joy. From protecting yourself against fraud, to staying healthy and aging in place, to finding purpose through volunteering, we've got the tools, tips, and stories to help you thrive. Join us on ONNJ and discover the power of us.
Jersey Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato at 8:15, and we are taking your calls at 888-658-0234. Meteorologist Mike Favetta has the full Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
Mike, I can't tell you how rich my mouth is flavored with Chip City cookies right now. I am addicted to the Linzer tart. I have never tasted a Linzer tart like that. Are you a Linzer tart fan by any chance?
I am. I might have to pick one up. I was going to pass at Chip City later today, so stop in for National Cookie Day. Very exciting
go.
stuff. The first time I had a Chip City, I'm like, why is this so heavy? It's like a weight in your hand.
One Chip City cookie is like
Mhm.
enough for us. It's
It
a
is.
big,
Right.
it's a substantial cookie. As she said, Ms. Palazzo said, if you're gonna have a cookie, do it right. Right.
Do it
Don't
right.
buy the
Yeah.
cheapy like stuff in the bag in the store. This is not that. This is
No.
an experience.
Yes, and you can use that extra bit of, bulk today, staying warm, right? Because it's so chilly. You could burn the calories just walking down the street trying to stay warm. That's how cold it'll be going into tonight and tomorrow. In fact, there are some flakes and flurries around. Up there in northern New Jersey, you see them briefly might come down, but this is the leading edge of some more very cold air that comes in this afternoon. So while the highs today will happen early in the day, we only make it to the low 40s. It's that wind chill that shoves in. It'll jam that cold right down your throat. 3 is how it'll feel at 7 o'clock this evening. 4 in Morristown and 8 over in Flemington as that cold air works its way down, feeling like 14 in Long Branch, 15 on LBI by later on tonight and tomorrow morning. Yeah, we could briefly get some negative numbers there up in Sussex. And then tomorrow morning stays cold all throughout the day. It's going to be a very chilly start and staying cold throughout the afternoon, especially with the winds that'll be just enough to add to that wind chill and bring us right down to 0 in spots. Then throughout the next few days into the weekend, we're quiet, but I think more wind returns into early next week by Monday timeframe. So here's the leading edge of the cold air. You can see it drawn in the clouds and some flurries. Again, rogue flake or flurry may fall in northern New Jersey this morning as that front pushes through. And then it's all about the cold, dry weather that takes over. That meets a little bit of moisture offshore, which tries to help for a light snowfall later tomorrow morning into the afternoon south of Atlantic City and LBI. But beyond that, it's a brief nuisance amount, and the rest of the state stays dry. So we are dry going into the weekend for everyone else. And with that, temperatures struggle to even make it much above freezing. The weekend forecast, very cold, very clear. More clouds on Saturday. I think a little bit break of sun by Sunday, only making us up to 42. So very chilly ahead and more cold air on the way on the 7-day. We'll tell you about that, Ken, coming up in a few minutes.
Yeah, because just what we need is more cold air. Pam, our director, is woohooing in the background, right? I'm having I'm having South Florida dreams, and she's woohooing about the cold. Hey, everybody gets a little something. You get some cold air, and you get some cold air. All right, Mike. Thank you very much, sir. We'll check back with you in a little bit. In terms of traffic, you get some traffic, and you get some traffic is what we have right now. So let's go over to I-78, shall we? There is a debris spill now in I-78. It's the local lanes eastbound at exit 56. That's coming towards you right now on your screen on the left. This is by Elizabeth Avenue in Newark with 2 right lanes closed. So they're coming into the debris spill right now, and that's why the slowdown bumper-to-bumper traffic as they make their way in. It is moving there still. That's the good news. Other issues we have 495, which is just before the Helix, the approach to the Lincoln Tunnel right now, very heavy. We are told that is from an earlier disabled vehicle. So you can see that folks there making their way into the Lincoln Tunnel bumper to bumper, and that's going to cost you about 40 to 45 into Manhattan. It's 30 minutes now at the Holland. And if we make a switch over to the GWB upper and lower, it's a mess. In fact, now we are told that we have a disabled bus on the upper level eastbound Jersey side. So the upper level's on the right, lower on the left. So you can see it's slower on the upper level. Your better bet is the lower level. Either way, lower level is going to cost you 40 minutes. Is going to be about 45 to 50 on the upper. Our time right now is 8:20, and we were just talking about Montclair. It was one of the locations for our previous guest from Chip City. And if you live or work in Montclair, there is a brand new space designed to make your work days a whole lot better. It is called Rec Room, RECROOM, Rec Room. It is a co-working and community hub. So Rec Room officially opens its doors this week. It was co-founded by longtime Montclair resident Michelle Ward, who wanted to create a space that blends productivity and community. We say good morning to Michelle Ward. Thanks for coming on today.
Good morning. Thanks for having me, Ken. And thanks to Chip City. My waistline doesn't thank them, but their Montclair location is right down the street from us. So Chip City cookies are my favorite. So I will be downloading the app and getting that cookie today.
Do that. And that's perfect symbiosis to have them right down the street. I'm sure for Rec Room. That's awesome.
Yes.
That works out great.
Yeah. I mean, for better or for worse, right? Depending on the diet that you're following. The temptation is very close. You could walk to it in like 5 minutes.
I love it. Well, tell me all about Rec Room. When did you first come up with the idea? And there is clearly a need for something like this. Tell us what Rec Room is and why it is so needed, especially in today's business climate and real estate climate.
Absolutely. So you described it perfectly right. We are a co-working and community space. And so I like to say, if you're someone that needs a place to work, that isn't a coffee shop, that isn't your home, that isn't a traditional office, that's where we come in. And so in today's world of work, where so many of us are working totally remote or hybrid, whether you're an employee, a freelancer, a small business owner, a creative, we need those spaces where we're not at home staring at our dishes, being tortured by the laundry on the other side of the room. We need a space that isn't always a coffee shop, that feels very uncertain. And am I getting a seat? Is there going to be power? Is the Wi-Fi going to go out? How am I going to get privacy for my call? And so Rec Room is the place to go where you need that focus and you need that productivity and you need and want that vibe of being around other people and not just working on your own. So we are absolutely here to make work days feel good. And on the flip side of that, I like to say that we're a community space because we are here to meet, we are here to gather, we run events, we rent the entire space out, and we really want to be a community hub and bring people together.
And that's amazing. So do you get a lot of people from some, say, different fields, and then when they're working together in that same space, they say, hey, you know what? I need a printer. And the guy over and say, Joe, can you guys print so you have that because everybody just happens to be there. It just works out.
1,000,000%. And the example I use, this was just the power of co-working and getting to know people, right, on a personal level. That's also what's missing when you're alone in your house or sometimes, working from a coffee shop, is that you miss those interactions and you don't get to know people. And there were 2 people here for co-working, and one of them I knew well. She was a member, and someone else was brand new. And when the other person left and I said, "What did you work on today?" She said, "Oh, I'm looking for work. I'm between jobs right now." And I said, "Oh, what kind of work are you looking for?" And she mentioned that she was in the nonprofit field. And I looked at the other person there who's the member, and she looked at me, and I thought, well, she's a nonprofit. And they start talking, and it turns out they have mutual connections. They didn't know each other, but they knew different people. And the person looking for the job was connecting to the other member, and that other member was saying, "Let me get your information. Let's go out for coffee. I'm going to help you however I can." And that's the power of co-working and connection and getting out of your bubble and meeting your neighbors.
Yeah, networking is so essential.
Yes.
And Montclair provides that very professional, kind of urban, hip environment where it kind of gets your creative juices flowing. And when you're in that communal space like that, I think it sort of encourages you not to take the break and go watch TV and not get things done, right? Seriously, you're in an environment. And I'm assuming, to get to the nuts and bolts of it, is it like a daily fee, a monthly fee?
Yeah.
How does it work for someone to take
Yep.
part?
Both. I really did try to think of every kind of experience that someone working remote, hybrid would need and want. So it goes from, a day pass, there's no commitment, you come in for the day, there's just a fee for the day, to memberships that have different tiers. So we have 4 days a month, we have 10 days a month, we have unlimited, we have a dedicated desk so that there is one designated spot for you. It comes with a monitor and a locker. We have private offices. And then we have meeting room that you could just rent on its own. You don't need to be a member to just rent the meeting room. And then we have entire space rental. So depending on what you're looking for and what your needs are, that's all different. And I wanted to say, I'm coming at you from our phone booth, which is my favorite spot pretty much in the world. And so when you do need privacy, there's no extra charge to just jump in our phone booth and take your call.
You know what I love more than anything else is you got a whole generation who's going to say, "What's a phone booth?"
It's true. It's true. It's true. I know it breaks my Gen X heart. I know, but it's true.
Well, you know what you should have in the phone booth? You should have a record player, and you should have a rotary dial phone, and you should and just make it even a cassette deck, and explain, maybe an 8-track while we're at it, and
We can
explain to
just be
people
a
what this is.
history museum, but I do have conference call bingo sheets in the phone booth for anyone that needs some fun while they're on their Zoom calls. They could
I
play
love
bingo.
it.
I had
I
to buy
love
this
it.
and put this in here.
That is so cool. So now tell me, what is in the future for Rec Room? You guys want to expand and have more locations? Because this is just a great community concept.
Thank you. Yes, we would love that. That's kind of our plan from the beginning. We are 3 weeks and 4 days old right now, so we won't get ahead of ourselves. But me and my co-founder, we are Montclair residents and love this community. And I'm new to the co-working industry, but I've been a co-working member on and off for over a decade. And when I lived in New York City and I lived in Brooklyn, that was just my norm. I was working for myself, by myself, as a solopreneur, we like to say, working with clients virtually. And it was so important for me, these co-working spaces. And I was just very shocked when I moved to Montclair, and we didn't have it. So I brought it here.
I didn't mean to cut you short, Michelle,
That's
because we're down to
okay.
30 seconds. Quickly, we
You
need your
got it.
website.
Oh, yes. It's recroomnj.com. RECROOMNJ, like New Jersey.com.
It's a great way to co-work and get things done. Michelle Ward, co-founder, general manager of Rec Room in beautiful Montclair. Go get some cookies on this National
And then
Cookie
come
Day.
work.
That's right. Happy holidays. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank
and all
you.
the best with Rec Room. Sounds great.
Thanks so much.
All right. It is now 36 degrees at 8:28, and the phone lines are open. We're taking your calls at 888-658-0234. We're coming right back.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Hey, New Jersey, want to choose how you live as you age? Tune into AARP New Jersey's new show, The Power of Us, the show that celebrates aging with dignity, purpose, and joy. From protecting yourself against fraud, to staying healthy and aging in place, to finding purpose through volunteering, we've got the tools, tips, and stories to help you thrive. Join us on ONNJ and discover the power of us.
Morning. It is Thursday, December 4th, 2025, 35 degrees now. It's 8:30. I'm Ken Rosato. Welcome back to ONNJ Jersey Mornings. Clouds this morning, partly sunny later. It's going to be windy, chilly, highs in the upper 30s. Meteorologist Mike Favetta has a detailed Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
Mike, it is, of course, National Cookie Day, cookie coming from the Dutch word for little cake. And I am still eating the Linzer tart from Chip City Cookies, which, by the way, I have
That
never
is a
seen a
lot
Linzer
of
tart.
jam. Wow.
They have jam, and by the way, it started out that big, and it's very cake-like. It's like buttery, soft, fresh cake
Yeah.
Linzer tart, and it is. I'm sorry, I'm giving the commercial. They deserve it. It is jam from edge to edge. Every bite, my mouth is watering, has a substantial amount of jam. That is, I have never. I can say this. I know it sounds like hyperbole. Never had a Linzer tart that tastes like that in my life. I am now a Linzer tart fan, but I have to be a Chip City Linzer tart fan. That's it. I'm committed, or maybe I should be committed.
I don't know. I think the commercial worked, Ken. I have to go pick one up myself later. That's something else. It's maybe they come out nice and warm, right? You get there right when they open. They come out warm and keep you warm on a day like today.
Like yesterday afternoon, my doorbell rang about 1 o'clock. I opened the door and there's a gentleman standing there, boxes of cookies. And I said, oh my God, they were not warm, they were hot. I thought they had
Hot.
the oven in the
Wow.
driveway. I said, how on earth did you get it here hot? They must have like an insulated something to get it to you because they were hot and gooey. That's why that one cookie bent because I tilted the box and it literally went on its side. I'm sorry, I'm holding you up. I could talk
It's
cookies
okay.
all day. In terms of
We could
forecast,
just
Mike,
you smell the cookie aroma, right? You get kind of in the air because you're not going to be smelling much other than some really frigid cold weather over the next few days. Your nostrils might freeze after this forecast. Look at the clouds that are starting to work their way in. So we started the early morning sunny, but now clouds are already moving in, giving way to temperatures that will hold in the upper 30s and briefly low 40s before coming crashing down later on today. The reason for that, the wind gusts. Right now, they're anywhere from 15 to 17 miles per hour, keeping our temperatures well below average. Now, we're not hitting the record of 9 set back in 1940, but we come close in some spots, especially when you factor in the wind. A couple of those clouds looking dark across northwestern New Jersey. That's as the leading edge of the colder air kind of squeezing out any little bit of moisture in the atmosphere like a sponge, allowing for that really dry setup for later on tonight. So actual air temperatures down in the single digits tomorrow morning. Very chilly stuff on the way, likely allowing for that cold air to mix with some of that moisture, creating a light accumulation of snow, maybe briefly on the car tops south of Atlantic City tomorrow afternoon. The rest of the state stays completely dry and cloudy, and then we're back to some flurries by Saturday morning and keeping it cloudy through much of the day on Saturday. Sunday may have some more breaks in the clouds for some sun, but beyond that, it stays chilly. There's the reinforcing shot of cold weather today. Clear for most of the morning tomorrow. The high pressure keeps most of northern New Jersey dry. Again, just a little bit of that mixing down south, and as the system scoots on by out to sea, and then another round of very cold air moves in for Friday into Saturday and Sunday and Monday. It's just cold round of air after cold shot coming into next week. And you see it on the 7-day forecast with highs just struggling to make it out of the teens at night, back in the 20s overnight on Saturday and Sunday, climbing to not even freezing for Monday, and then Tuesday and Wednesday chilly as well. With these overnight lows unusually cold, this is more of, again, late December, early January chill, even Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, keeping it cold into next week. Can't find any relief in sight, Ken, at least through the middle of the month. We'll talk more about that longer range forecast to see where the core of the cold weather sets up. That's coming up in our next weather update.
All right, sir. We appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. And chilly it is. 35 degrees still in northern New Jersey, 31 degrees in Trenton, and it's 31 degrees in Cape May, 34 degrees now in Vineland. In terms of traffic, let's go over to 78, shall we? Right now on Route 78, we have, and of course it just updated on my screen. What happened? Yep, I think maybe because they cleared it. We had a crash. Yeah, there were delays on 78 westbound from east of exit 52 Garden State Parkway to east of exit 51. Now they're saying all lanes are open. So there had been pockets of volume there from an earlier crash. Apparently now it's cleared up because you could see it's moving much better than it was even just a few minutes ago. We have issues now on New Jersey's Route 18 southbound by Morris Avenue in Piscataway. The right lane and right shoulder are closed due to a crash there. 295 northbound, we have a crash north of exit 36, Route 73, Mount Laurel with the left shoulder closed, and we have a malfunctioning traffic light, Route 202 in both directions. And that is by Branchburg Township by River Road, the left lane of the two lanes closed there. Right now, leading up to the Holland Tunnel, that's actually not a bad deal versus the other two locations across the Hudson River. This right here is the Lincoln Tunnel approach. So this is 495 as you make your way to the Helix. That's going to cost you about 40 minutes in, and that possibly due to a little morning glare. But there was an earlier disabled vehicle, but that's been cleared. We still have some residual traffic there. Again, the Holland is only going to cost you 25. Lincoln is going to cost you 40. GWB, upper and lower levels, 80-95 approaches. The lower level was certainly better than the upper a few minutes ago. Seems to be the case still. The upper is on the right, lower is on the left, and that's going to cost you about 40 to 45 into Manhattan. It is 8:36 as the holiday season approaches, as we are in it. Two New York City physicians are using their platform, their practice, even their music to spread hope and healing. Dr. Elvis Francois, known to many as Dr. Elvis for his viral performances and inspirational voice, is partnering with his medical colleague, Dr. Grigory Arutyunyan, to host a fundraising gala in Brooklyn, December 18th, that benefits the Giving Hope Foundation. Their practice is also launching a special holiday offer of 100 free clinic visits for New Yorkers in need, with an upcoming pro bono clinic day on December 16th. On top of all of that, Dr. Elvis is preparing to release his new EP, Realignment, on January 16th. And we say good morning, Drs. Francois and Arutyunyan. Good to have you on this morning, both.
Good morning. Good morning. And honored to be here to join you.
You bet. I hope I did somewhat okay with the names.
I was going to say, for some tough names, with the exception of Elvis, phenomenal enunciation and pronunciation. Well done. Well done.
Thank you. I thought you meant the Elvis was the hardest. Elvis was the hardest name to pronounce. Well, it's nice to have you both on. Talk about the December 18th fundraising dinner and the gala to benefit the Giving Hope Foundation.
Yeah, so we've been so much of our lives we've had people pour into us and inspire us to seek more and to work harder to become spine surgeons here in New York City. And so we wanted to take a moment out of our practices and out of our year to really highlight and honor those people. So on the 18th, we'll be hosting a second sort of annual Christmas holiday party. And embedded in that, we'll be using that moment to highlight our initial gala as a fundraiser to support 3 different causes. One, single mothers who are seeking, who are really looking for hope. Second to that, I'm Haitian, of a Haitian origin and Haitian descent. And there's a school in Haiti, in south of Haiti, where 150 children don't have access to education and often don't have access to nutrition. So using that to help fundraise there and then support that cause. And thirdly, we have an initiative where we're supporting those who have interest in medicine and interest in becoming maybe a spine surgeon or maybe a future physician. So that 3-legged tier is what we look to help support with the Pledge of Hope Foundation. And I'm really, really thrilled to have those, New Yorkers and those in the tri-state area join us.
That's amazing. And by the way, I must say, I do a lot of work with Catholic Charities and have over the years. Everybody I meet who is from the Haitian community, and I know this is, I'm painting with a broad brush here, you always end up, I don't know how you have enough hours in the day. When I find that when a Haitian comes to the United States, you're always successful, you work your butt off, and you always have like 500 causes you take care of, always remembering the people who need your help. God bless you for that. You're just, it's just amazing. So it's always a wonderful example. But it's the truth. And it's an example that all Americans need to follow about the energy that you have. And you also have 100 free clinic visits for the community. Talk about that.
So this idea was birthed simply just on the premise of looking back and seeing everything that people have sacrificed in general for our freedom, and also all the unrest in the city that's happened. So it's homage to law enforcement agencies, first responders in the city, as well as as well as armed forces in the United States. And so to celebrate them, the idea was birthed on the eve of Veterans Day. And I said, you know what? Wouldn't it be neat for us to offer 50 free visits a quarter? So every 3 months, there's 50 free visits for people, whether you can afford it or not, whether you're from New York City, Jersey, or abroad. We want to celebrate what has been done for us as a community. And you don't have to be in law enforcement or armed forces of the United States. We're just offering it to celebrate what they've done, the sacrifice that they've had, and their families, everything that their families have had to endure by virtue of them servicing our city, our nation. And so as a notion of gratitude for them, we're offering this small little token of appreciation. Thank you for what you're doing for us. We're going to help our community by offering this platform of free visits.
That's beautiful. And then Dr. Francois, you have your music as a tool of healing too. Talk about the EP realignment.
No, absolutely. For me, in training to become a spine surgeon, oftentimes you can get lost in the minutia of, reading the textbooks, and you get lost in the part of medicine where you're constantly training, and so oftentimes you lose sight of the fact that you're taking care of a person. So for me, music has always been a reminder that medicine and surgery can only go so far in healing someone. On January 16th, I'll be releasing my first EP album, which will be a sort of a moment for me to reconnect with folks, particularly through music. There'll be a collection of songs there that are meant to inspire, meant to remind folks, those in medicine and those without, that music goes places that medicine can't go. And so I'm super, super thrilled to share. Hopefully I'll be back to share some of the music live with you all once we get it released.
We would love that. Tell them the website now for more information also about the gala. We have about 20 seconds left. What's a website?
Yeah, so the website is the pledgeofgivinghopefoundation.com. If you go there, or if you go on Big Apple Spine and Orthopedics, you'll be able to connect with us to talk about free visits. And if you go on the website, foundation website, you'll be able to donate to the cause. We look forward to being able to connect with you all there and in the future soon.
Awesome. Dr. Elvis Francois, Dr. Grigory Arutunyan, thank you for coming on this morning. Happy holidays to you both.
It's a pleasure.
Pleasure. Happy holidays.
Right back.
Thank you.
Play it like the New York Sirens. Live in the spotlight. Etch your name in lights. Embrace the noise. And when it calls you, turn it up. Get louder. Play it like they'll hear us everywhere. Because this is our team. New York Sirens. Play it big.
Hey, New Jersey. Want to choose how you live as you age? Tune into AARP New Jersey's new show, The Power of Us, the show that celebrates aging with dignity, purpose, and joy. From protecting yourself against fraud, to staying healthy and aging in place, to finding purpose through volunteering, we've got the tools, tips, and stories to help you thrive. Join us on ONNJ and discover the power of us.
Mornings, I'm Ken Rosato at 8:45, taking your calls at 888-658-0234. Meteorologist Mike Favetta with our last check of the morning with the Garden State forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Audio Nova, your hearing experts.
So if there was any doubt that we were in meteorological winter, the doubt is gone.
That's right. Here we are. Yeah, no need to wait till the end of the month for that cold weather, because we not only have the chill, there's also some flakes and flurries flying around right now in northern New Jersey, with some light accumulating snow on the way for southern New Jersey, south of Atlantic City by tomorrow late morning. Temperatures right now are warming through the low 30s, only making it up to about 39 degrees, and then these temperatures come crashing down later on today. As the dry weather continues, the latest drought monitor shows a little bit of an expansion over that severe drought through portions of Warren County, and the dry conditions heading a little further east toward the coast. So even though we had quite a bit of rain last week, wasn't enough to kind of quell the, at least bring some of that water back to the reservoirs. We're still about 80% of average there over toward Newark, with anywhere from a half to a quarter inch of a rainfall deficit for the last month. But look at where the core of the cold air is here in the Northeast, including portions of New Jersey, with all of that chilly weather lasting through the middle of the month. We'll likely have above average precipitation chances as well, and that'll take us into the next few days, in fact, with Saturday featuring a few snowflakes and flurries in there after a very cold finish to the day tomorrow. Sunday and Monday, still cold. We really can't find any relief from the chill, because once we try to get back into the 40s, we come crashing back down below freezing, and then that'll be the case again by Wednesday and Thursday next week. Try to make it up into the 40s, but the overnights are still back down sub-freezing. So some really cold weather that lasts, Ken, at least for the next 2 weeks.
All right, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Well, so then the prediction from the National Weather Service was right. Remember, we talked about the polar vortex for the first couple of weeks of December?
Yeah.
So they were right for a change? I mean, they were right? Wow. That's good. All right. It's good to see that everything's in alignment, or bad maybe because it's cold. But nonetheless, they did call it. Yeah, we're a little early this year. Hopefully that means that we'll have milder weather for the rest of the I keep saying Christmas, the winter.
Well, we're hoping a shorter winter season. That would be ideal. Get those
telling you,
daffodils up early this year.
You have the connection to Mother Nature. Pam is saying, it hasn't even started, dudes. It hasn't even started yet. Pam, we're gonna get you for Christmas a nice trip to Fairbanks. And you could spend Christmas, New Year's, spring. She could do everything remotely. You could do everything on the internet. So what's the difference,
That's right.
right? There you are. All right, Mike, have a wonderful day, wonderful
You
weekend.
too.
We appreciate you, sir. Thank you. 8:48 right now. Temperature is 35 degrees northern New Jersey, 31 degrees in Trenton. It's 32 in Cape May and 31 right now in Vineland. Checking our traffic. We have EMS activity first here, Pam. I'm just going to talk about this first. This is on Route 18 southbound Morris Avenue west in Piscataway Township. The right lane and right shoulder are closed due to EMS activity. So try to avoid that if you can. There's also, and I'm assuming this is the same thing. They're saying there's a crash on Route 18 northbound, north of US 1 East Brunswick. Nope, that's two different things. So Route 18 has some issues. So Route 18 has an East Brunswick crash. These things both popped up just now. East Brunswick crash by US 1, and they have EMS activity on Piscataway. So, is it a coincidence? Are they the same thing and just different town lines? I don't know, but they're being reported as separate. Malfunctioning traffic light 202 both directions, River Road and Branchford with the left lane closed. And then on 295 northbound from exit 28 to 32, we have heavy traffic delays, just volume. It's about 4 to 5 miles. No accidents, just volume. Just beware of that. In terms of your approaches to the Hudson River right now, the Lincoln Tunnel is going to cost you about 40 minutes. And this is all, look at this. This is coming off of the turnpike, going toward the Lincoln Tunnel. This, we are told, is from an earlier disabled vehicle. But the damage is done all the way from this point into Manhattan. It's going to be about a 50-minute stretch. It's 35 minutes at the Holland. And right now over at the 8095 approach to the GWB, the lower level was flowing a little bit better than the upper level a few minutes ago. Let's see how it is now. Now it's just the opposite. Upper level on the right flowing better than the lower on the left. It is 8:50. Rutgers School of Nursing has received the 2025 Health Professions Higher Education Excellence and Distinction Award from Insight into Academia magazine, marking the fourth consecutive year the school has earned the honor. The HEED Award is the only national recognition that honors U.S. health profession schools for achievements in advancing academic excellence. Institutions are selected through an in-depth national review. And we say good morning to the Dean of the Rutgers School of Nursing, Angela Starkweather. Good to have you on.
Thank you, Ken. It's great to be with you.
You bet. And Rutgers University School of Nursing is one of the largest, one of the highest ranked nursing schools in the whole nation. Talk about the degrees you have there.
Of course. And we are so proud of receiving the HEED Award again this year. But the substantial, ways that we are contributing to the nursing shortage across the state. So we have an array of different programs where people can think about pathways into nursing. And so we have our baccalaureate programs that are traditional 4-year. We have our accelerated programs. So this is for people with already have a bachelor's degree, but want to pursue a career in nursing. And so they can go through the program and within 15 months, they can become a nurse. We also have our RN to BS program on our 2+2 program with Camden Community College at the Blackwood campus.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead. You can finish.
In addition to those, so that's at our baccalaureate level. At our graduate level, we have 13 different specialties. So those range from nurse anesthesia, nurse midwifery, and then nurse leadership, which is more administration, nursing informatics, and nurse practitioner pathways. So we have family, which is primary care across the lifespan, really, and pediatric, acute, and primary. We have psych mental health. We also have acute care, so more hospital-based, and emergency care as well.
Wow, I love it. That's a lot. You basically have it all covered. And to get the HEED Award one time is one thing. To get it 4 times in a row is a big deal. What does that honor mean to you guys as a school?
Absolutely. And, this, I think, just reflects the real concerted effort that we have in creating community across our school, really from the time of orientation to the different leadership opportunities that our students have, and really learning the skills of nursing is the caring profession. It's about connecting with other people and being able to understand their experiences. And so, coming from a very diverse community of New Jersey and being able to really leverage the different experiences people have as a student here in the school, and learning how to use those skills to really connect with people in their health journey, because that's what nurses do.
Mm-hmm. And you were also named best school for men in nursing. When I was a kid, I'm 58. There were very few male nurses. Today, you have a huge number of male nurses, obviously, and why not? Uh, so now this is the 8th straight year you will rank the best school
It
for men
is.
in nursing. Why is it important to bring more men into nursing?
Well, just again, the diversity of seeing nurses, seeing that nurses are the face of the community. And so, really being able to look at the diverse array of, again, experiences. So, men bring unique experiences into nursing. And so, being able to really highlight their journey and their voices in the profession is something that we're really proud of.
And that is a big deal. And also, there's something also to be said about the physicality. There are times when you have patients that have to be moved, and you rather than calling in 3 people, you might have a big male nurse who could help. And then there are things that seriously, and then there are cases where you have female patients who maybe don't want a man and want a woman. So there is a role for men and women who are both
Absolutely.
nurses, and it's not about being discriminatory in any way. This is the reality of life for people. So I have a father who's 95 with dementia, who's just spent 9 weeks in a hospital, and I have fallen in love with the nursing staff. And there are male and female nurses there who each have very distinct roles as the fully nurses both, but they all have helped in different ways. Like I said, I'm in love with them. So there's something
Yeah.
amazing about our nurses. And students at Rutgers learn in classrooms, in labs, and in community sites. So that mix prepares them for leadership roles too. Talk about that.
Oh, yes. And so our simulation experiences really add to the clinical experiences they have, because as you can imagine, spending time in the clinical area, you might not have the real seminal emergent conditions that we want every student to see. So simulation really fills that gap. It also prepares them in ways that, practicing before going into the clinical arena is really important and provides that skill set to help improve confidence and ability to learn and practice the skills that they're learning in the classroom. So in terms of the different communities that we go in, both acute care, long-term care, and in communities, so that students get a wide array of different experiences throughout their program and really learn the different areas that nurses are managing, because it's not just in the hospital, it's in our communities, in the public health areas. And so nurses serve a huge role across the healthcare system. And it can be from, managing very technical, high stress conditions to managing public health emergencies and
I don't mean to step on you. We're down to like
Yeah.
90 seconds to the whole end of the show, and I want you
Sure.
to get in within 30 seconds. Could you talk about nurse science? You're a nurse scientist, and you offer that there, and I want to make sure we talk about that for a few seconds. So go ahead.
Oh, sure. And that is one of our premier programs, is the PhD program, producing nurse scientists. And we need more nurse scientists who are generating the evidence for care in nursing and the healthcare system. So we have a different wide variety of nursing research going on at Rutgers School of Nursing. My own is looking at symptom trajectories and the role of genomics, how our genes play a role in the chronicity of symptoms. But we also have other programs of
They're
research.
the computer's gonna cut us off, Dean. I don't mean
Okay.
to step on you. It just cuts us off. It's electronic. So we have to wrap it, but I could talk to you for hours. Dean of Rutgers School of Nursing, Angela
Thank
Starkweather,
you.
we appreciate you coming on today. Happy holidays.
You too. Thank you so much.
You bet. Rutgers School, be proud, New Jersey. And that is on New Jersey Mornings for your Thursday. I'm Ken Rosato. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you again starting tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Take care.